Hey Falcons fans, this one's tough to take, but we've got to face it. Sunday night's game against the Washington Commanders had everything: drama, intensity, and heartbreak. It's a game we'll be talking about for a long time, especially because one key decision, or the lack of one, might end up defining the Falcons' season. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for all the latest updates. Now let's get into it. Head coach Raheem Morris made a controversial call by not taking a timeout in the final minute of regulation. That choice could end up shaping the entire season. Here's how it all went down. The Falcons had just tied the game with an incredible touchdown pass from rookie quarterback Michael Penn Jr. to Kyle Pitts. The defense stepped up big right after, forcing a quick 3-and-out from Washington. With 40 seconds left on the clock, Atlanta had the ball, the momentum, and a chance for Penn to deliver his first legendary NFL moment. It started perfectly. On the first play of the drive, Penn hit Darnell Mooney with a stunning 25-yard pass down the sideline. The crowd was electric, and the Falcons were in great position to strike. But then, it all started to go wrong. Mooney was tackled inbounds, and instead of using one of their two timeouts, the Falcons hurried to the line. The clock kept ticking. By the time Pennick's next pass fell incomplete, 23 seconds had disappeared. That left just 17 seconds to work with, time that could have been the difference between a manageable field goal and the tough 56-yarder Riley Patterson was forced to attempt. Patterson's kick came up short, and with that, the game went into overtime. That's where the heartbreak hit hardest. Washington's rookie quarterback, Jaden Daniels, showed why he's such a rising star. He led the Commanders on a 70-yard drive, capping it off with a game-winning touchdown on their first possession of overtime. Washington clinched a 30-24 victory and secured a playoff spot in the process. For Atlanta, the loss handed control of the NFC South back to the Buccaneers, who now only need to beat the Saints to lock up the division. After the game, Coach Morris reflected on his decision not to take a timeout. In hindsight, it might have been a better decision to call it, he admitted. But here's the thing. Coach Morris's decision not to call a timeout came down to strategy. He explained that he wanted to save the timeouts for later. Unfortunately, that choice seems to have cost the Falcons in a big way. Rookie quarterback Michael Penn Jr. stood by his coach, saying he calls timeouts whenever he feels like it, and he trusted us to get the play and move on to the next one. That kind of loyalty and confidence is exactly what you want from a young leader. Still, let's be honest, this loss stings. Raheem Morris is in his first year as head coach, having beaten out some heavyweights, yes, even Bill Belichick, to earn the job. While there's still time to turn things around, decisions like this are the ones fans and front offices don't forget. Now it's your turn, Falcons Nation. What do you think? Was this loss on Morris for letting the clock run, or was it just a mix of bad luck and poor execution? Do you still believe we can make the playoffs, or is time running out? Let me know in the comments below. With playoff hopes on the line, this game gave us plenty of drama and just as many what-ifs. The Falcons' postseason chances are hanging by a thread now. To have a shot, we not only need a Week 18 win, but also some help from the Saints. So where do we go from here? Let's start with the bright spots. Yes, there were a few. Drake London. What a performance. He stepped up when it mattered most, catching 7 passes for 106 yards. He even pulled off an incredible 31-yard grab on 4th and 11 to keep our hopes alive late in the game. Oh, and did we mention? He crossed the 1,000-yard mark for the first time in his career. Big-time players make big-time plays, and London proved he's a cornerstone of this team. Pass rush. Our defense showed up in a big way. 5 sacks by 5 different players: Arnold Ebiketie, Matt Judon, David Onyemata, J.D. Bertrand, and Jesse Bates III all got to the quarterback. After struggling earlier this season, this unit has caught fire, recording 21 sacks in the last 5 games. That's the kind of momentum we needed, and it's a shame the final score didn't reflect the team's effort. Let's talk about Michael Penix Jr. The rookie quarterback showed incredible grit. Sure, he wasn't perfect, but when it mattered most, he delivered. Leading a 12-play, 68-yard drive to tie the game was no small feat. And let's not forget his first career touchdown pass, a 13-yard laser to Kyle Pitts in a tight window. Penix is still learning, but he gave us a glimpse of his potential, and it's exciting to think about what the future holds for him. We also have to give a big shout-out to A.J. Terrell. Tasked with covering Terry McLaurin for most of the game, Terrell held him to just 1 catch for 5 yards. That's elite defense right there. Performances like this remind us why Terrell is one of the best cornerbacks in the league. He continues to solidify his place among the NFL's top players. Now we need to address the tough part, Coach Raheem Morris's clock management. With 34 seconds left after a huge play by Darnell Mooney, the Falcons still had 2 timeouts, but instead of stopping the clock, Morris let it run. By the time the team got off the next play, 17 valuable seconds were gone. That decision loomed large when Riley Patterson's 56-yard field goal attempt fell just short. A few extra seconds might have made all the difference. Morris admitted after the game that he probably should have called a timeout, but in a game with playoff implications, every moment is magnified. Now our playoff hopes are out of our hands. To even have a chance, we need a win against the Panthers next week and a Saints victory over the Buccaneers. It's a tough position, especially for a team that controlled its own destiny just a week ago. This season was supposed to mark the start of a new chapter for the Falcons. Instead, we're left asking, what could have been? And finally, we can't ignore Dalford's rough night. Unfortunately, he gave up the game-winning touchdown in overtime. It was a heartbreaking moment that capped off a tough loss for the team. It's been a roller coaster season for Dalford, and Sunday was another low point. While Patterson's missed kick wasn't entirely on him, it was a tough long-range attempt. The Falcons' kicking game has struggled all year. Losing Younghoe Koo to injury was a big setback. But even before that, this unit hadn't lived up to its usual standards. So where does that leave us, Falcons Nation? This loss hurts, no question, but there's still a glimmer of hope. If there's one thing we know about the NFL, it's that anything can happen. What do you think? Should Raheem Morris be held accountable for the clock management issues, or was this just a rough break in a close game? And do you still believe the Falcons can pull off a playoff spot? Share your thoughts in the comments. Now let's shift to something positive. Drake London, our third-year wide receiver from USC, has officially reached a major milestone in his NFL career, 1,000 receiving yards in a single season. That's right, London has established himself as one of the most dynamic young talents in the league. This achievement came during Sunday night's game against the Commanders, where he recorded 7 receptions for 106 yards. It was another standout performance in a season full of them. In fact, this was the second time this year he surpassed 100 yards in a game. Remember his incredible October outing? 12 receptions, 134 yards, and a touchdown. What's truly impressive is how much London has grown since entering the league. Each year, he's taken his game to the next level, and 2024 was no exception. Let's talk numbers. Last season, 16 games, 69 receptions, 905 yards, 2 touchdowns. This season, so far, 90 receptions, 1,084 yards, 7 touchdowns, with 1 game still to go. As the Falcons prepare for their season finale against the Carolina Panthers, London has a chance to add even more to these impressive stats and finish the year on an even higher note. A big part of London's success has been his ability to thrive despite challenges at the quarterback position. When the Falcons signed Kirk Cousins to a big free agent deal, it seemed like the team finally had some stability. But as the season progressed, rookie Michael Penix Jr. took over the starting role. Despite the transition, London hasn't skipped a beat. His production has been steady, proving he's a reliable target no matter who's throwing the ball. That kind of versatility is priceless and speaks volumes about his talent and work ethic. London's journey so far has been remarkable, and this milestone is just another sign of his bright future. Drake London has officially hit the 1,000-yard milestone, continuing a pattern of excellence that started in college. Back in his junior year at USC, London racked up an incredible 1,084 yards in just 8 games before an injury cut his season short. Those eye-popping numbers made him a top prospect and led to his selection as the 8th overall pick in the 2022 NFL Draft. Fast forward to today, and London's college success has seamlessly transitioned to the professional level. His consistency and ability to deliver in big moments prove he was worth every bit of that high draft pick. Of course, while London's individual achievements are exciting, Sunday's loss to the Commanders was still a tough pill to swallow. It's a setback that dramatically impacts our playoff hopes, pushing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers back to the top of the NFC South. But even in the face of adversity, one thing is clear: Drake London is a cornerstone for the Falcons' future. His growth and consistency give us plenty of reasons to be optimistic about what lies ahead for this team. So Falcons fans, what's your take? Is Drake London the NFL's next big star? How do you feel about his season so far? And what are your expectations for him in the season finale against the Panthers? Let me know in the comments below. And if you haven't already, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more updates. Go Falcons!